Sometimes I wonder how a city girl from Orange County, Southern California, ever ended up in a cabin on a farm in the woods, in what some would call a rural area of eastern North Carolina. And although it feels rural, and we are out in, again, what some would call the country, it's not exactly rural out here, at least anymore. Housing developments being built, woods being cut down, trees being sold for profit. It's a shame. I've lived here in eastern North Carolina for about 29 years now. Not always on a cabin, on a farm, in the woods though. We've lived here on the farm for about 17 of the 29 years. Over the 12 years prior, we had taken on our share of farm critters. We had some land, but not a lot. We leased 20 acres of land that was directly behind our home. And that held our 2 horses. We had a half acre of land in which we kept somewhere between 6 to 8 goats, a dozen or more chickens, ducks, etc. We would have still probably been living there, but as we were leasing the 20 acres for the horses, it was only a matter of time that we knew it would be sold out from under us, and we would eventually have to move. So it took us 3 years to find something that was affordable, something that had the land that we would need. We found this piece of land. It had nothing on it, no horse barn, no fenced-in areas, no lean-tos off a little shed, no barn in the back. The grass and the weeds were about easily 3 feet tall. The original owners had started to build a pond before the gentleman passed away, and it never got finished. So there was half a pond, some trees that never got removed around the pond, and a bunch of weeds and tall grass. and a cabin. We felt that the land was safe. We felt that we could, with blood, sweat, and tears, clean up the land. My husband, who's a handyman, put up fencing, built the horse stalls, and the house, which was unlivable, we knew had strong bones. So with a little more blood, sweat, and tears, we tackled the house. And it became our home. It was odd living back here. We're secluded. I can hear the traffic as I stand up here on the balcony. There's a road just on the other side of these woods, a highway, and I can hear the trucks go by and the cars. And at first, I didn't like it. At first, I didn't understand the sacredness so much of the land. And what it had to offer. If only we would take notice. If only we would take care. And so here we are. A city girl living in a cabin on a farm in the woods. We've since lost all the chickens except for one rooster. And we have a turkin who you might meet later on in this video, who found his way to the farm. Where he came from, I have no idea. But he's blind in one eye. So this is now his home. We've lost our goats since then. Goats are fun. I miss them. They're funny. But they're a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. Down to one horse now, who's resting in his stall. It's the middle of the day. It's quite hot out there in the sun. And our other horse is buried out on the land. I hope you heard that. That would be the turkin. His name is Turkey. And he doesn't really care what time it is. He thinks that any time is a grand time. to scream out to the universe and let the universe know that he's alive. And in response, our lone, small rooster who's about 11 now. Sadly, we have to keep them separated. The Turkin is a little too aggressive for such an older rooster. So here I am again, a city girl from California, living in a cabin on a farm in the woods. The cabin stays mostly shaded because of the woods. And so, as much as I love to garden, it's been quite difficult over the years to get anything to grow. So we have the landscape pond with lilies, the beautiful butterfly bush. I'm not saying that nothing blooms and nothing grows, but it's hard, especially for someone like me who loves flowers. I love the colors of flowers. I love green. The sound of the pond is so relaxing. And yes, visitors. Shy visitors. So I enjoy coming out here and just sitting and listening to all of nature, to the pond. The pond also provides water for the wildlife. We have little catch bowls that will catch rainwater for smaller insects like the bees and the butterflies. We have lots of deer here, and squirrel, possum, fox, a coyote or two, and all are welcome to come and drink out of the pond. We have bird feeders everywhere. Some say you shouldn't feed the birds. But it brings me comfort, and I think it brings them comfort. They never go hungry. I love sitting and listening to their song. They said on the news this morning that it was spider season. I have severe arachnophobia, and I don't care much for spiders. That large one you see is a banana spider, or that's what we call them, Charlotte's Web spider. And just behind her, it looks like it's right on top of her. You can see it moving around. I call them crab spiders. And she's making a nest behind him, a web behind her, sorry, not him. She's busy. Woodpeckers enjoying the suet. This is ancestor oak. We do all our rituals for the Sabbats and the moons. There's our cauldron under the ancestor. The woods smell good today. This is my favorite space here in the woods on the farm. I used to like it more when the creek was flowing. But with all the building they're doing, and after the flooding during Hurricane Florence, I think they've rerouted the water. Now it's dry. Except when we get a heavy rain. I love the way the sun comes through and just highlights little areas here and there at different times of the day. There's different lighting. I love the ferns. They give the woodlands a bit of a foresty feel. That's where the creek was, or still is, only now it is dry. I could sit back here for hours, just listening to the birds, to the rustling of the leaves when a breeze moves through, the buzzing of insects. I love it when I see little moths and little butterflies fly through. I used to have a bench out here, and I would sit for the longest time just listening to the creek, smelling the woods, that damp forest earth, the damp woodlands earth. It smells so good. It's just so very peaceful back here. I never get tired of coming back here, just sitting and observing and listening and watching. I feel like I always discover something new back here. I always see something that I haven't seen before. Anything from a bird to a squirrel to the way the colors contrast. When the sun shines on them. And just like this, when the breeze blows on them. How that sounds. How that feels. I also like the dark shadows that it creates. When I'm feeling real witchy, it reminds me of the veil in which our ancestors stand behind and yet always watching. So I just wanted to share with you a bit of my woods, a bit of my land that I call home. And I really just wanted you to smell the woods with me.